to making money as a guitarist, bass player, drummer is you need to set something up as quick as possible, effectively to do as little as possible, to make as much money as possible, whilst doing as little as possible, if that makes sense. So once you've got that, it allocates you a lot of time, because if you're, for example, teaching Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, and Sundays, and then you're gigging mostly Friday and Saturday nights, it effectively gives you, 6 full days and a couple of evenings to work on whatever your big project is. So if you can make 20, 25 grand a year from being a guitarist, doing those two things, taking up a third to 30 to 40% of your time, then you've got 60% of your awake time, as it were, to then work on whatever the big picture is. Secondly, the big picture. This is the key. So one thing is turning on money. Teaching, covers, the odd bit of session work, great. That's where you turn your money on. At first, you're like, wouldn't that be amazing? Wouldn't it be great if I could just make 20 grand a year from being a guitar player? Absolutely it would. However, I've been in this position with many, many musicians, and a year down the line, it's not enough. Because if you think of the grand scheme, people always say life is short. Well, it is. It's also fucking long as well. So, if you've got 50 years of turning up to a school that you teach in with basically the same student times by 20, times by 30, 40, 50 years of your life, it can get monotonous. I was not very good at the one-to-one thing, but back in the day, that's how I sort of managed to fund myself, was cover stuff, and I used to teach bass. And in a tiny room, people would come in, sit down, have you practiced? No, great. And then the next one come in, hi, how you doing? Have you practiced? No, brilliant. Not always the case, but it is when you teach kids, there's a lot of that. So, all of a sudden, a year or 2 years later, it's easy to be in a position where you go, I do love what I do, but this can't be the end game, because the creativity has now gone away, because you're not building your business anymore as much. You've done the turn on the money thing. You've got the money coming in. What's the next thing?